Hey guys, what's going on? Paul Seaton here again with Books 2 CFO Advisory Services. It is Wednesday, April 1st, 2020, and we are 2 days away from when banks are going to be accepting applications for the Paycheck Protection Loan. So the federal government released the application yesterday. As I said, it's very straightforward and easy to fill out. It's 4 pages total, but there's really only 2 pages of information that you need to fill in. And today I'm going to be going over what banks are going to be looking for in addition to the application that you fill out. So banks will need this. All right, this is the information banks are going to want to see. I've made some props for today's video, so have a pen and paper handy. Type this information into Word, type it into OneNote, type it into an email, put it somewhere so that you know exactly what your bank is going to want to see when you go to apply for one of these loans. All right, so I've broken down the documentation into 3 separate categories. All right, first one being payroll information, second one being health insurance, and the third one is going to be retirement plan contributions, the employer portion of the retirement plan contributions. All right, payroll information. Number 1, payroll data. Okay, there's a few pieces of information I'm going to go over here. First things first, starting January 1st of 2019, the bank is going to want to see your monthly payroll data. All right, what does that mean? If you have W-2 employees that you are paying on an hourly or salary basis, they're going to want to see monthly payroll data showing how much you paid an employee in a given month and how much state and local taxes were assessed on those wages. Those are going to be considered in your total payroll cost when you apply, okay? Monthly payroll data, very important. Make sure it lists out the employee's name, the amount of their gross wages, and the taxes assessed at the local and state level. At the state level, that'll mean the state unemployment insurance. Number 2, your 941 reports. What are your 941 reports? Those are the quarterly reports that the federal government requires you to file showing how much you paid employees in a given quarter. So this is something that can be obtained from your payroll provider. At the end of these props, I'm going to go over action items and who you need to contact to obtain this information. So there should be 4 941 reports that you're going to pull. First quarter 2019, second quarter 2019, third quarter 2019, and fourth quarter 2019. Right? It's April 1st. A lot of payroll providers have not filed the 941 for Q1 2020. If you use like QuickBooks Online to do your payroll and you do it yourself, effective today, you can go in there and pull down the Q1 2020 941. So if you have that information, awesome, pull it up, take it to the bank. That'll mean that you have 5 941s, but if not, no big deal. Just make sure that you have the monthly payroll data starting January 1st, 2019, all the way through today, okay, because the bank's going to be using it. All right, got the 941 reports. Okay, I've had some back and forth with people on this one, so I'm telling you to be safe rather than sorry. You're going to want to show your 1099 payment summary. What is a 1099 payment summary? Well, if you outsource your accounting to someone like me who isn't a full-time employee but just works on a contract, if you pay a freelance photographer, if you pay someone to do your catering at a party that's a sole proprietor, you are issuing them a 1099. Now, if you read the legislation, if you want to get really into it, go to page 7 of the legislative text. It says that payments to independent contractors and sole proprietors are to be included in the calculation. Now, there's been some back and forth on this. What does that mean? That the contractor themselves needs to go to apply? I've heard a few different viewpoints from a couple different banks, and so to be safe rather than sorry, have that documentation ready. It's going to be a benefit to you as a business owner if you can include it in your calculation because it's going to increase your eligible borrowing amount, all right? So have your 1099 payment summary dating back to January 1st, 2019, all the way through today, handy and ready to go. All right, next, you're going to want your financial statements. What are those? Those are your balance sheet and your profit and loss. Why am I including this in payroll data? Well, as I went over in my last video about the biggest mistake I think owners are going to make is they are not going to calculate the correct amount of owner's draws or guaranteed payments that they're paying themselves as the business owner. So a lot of times, if you're a sole proprietor or an LLC, you don't include yourself on payroll. You just take draws out of the business. You take money from your business checking and put it into your personal checking. That's called an owner's draw. That information will show up on your balance sheet and your profit and loss. So have those handy, contact your bookkeeper if you have one, and make sure that you have that information ready to go because the owner's compensation is going to be included in your calculation. All right. Piggybacking off of that, if you have your 2019 business and personal returns done, then that would be helpful. That's going to take information from your balance sheet and profit and loss and put it onto your tax returns, showing exactly what you paid yourself and what you made from your business in 2019. If you don't have it, then still take your profit and loss and balance sheet. That information should have it. And make sure you also take your balance sheet and profit and loss for Q1 of 2020, because that's going to show what your business has made to date, for Q1 2020, and what you as the owner have made from the business. Okay, so at the end of each section, I'm going to have action steps. Action steps for payroll data. Contact your payroll provider. If you use ADP or Paycheck or Gusto, make sure you get that information that I talked about. What information do you need from your payroll provider? You're going to want your monthly payroll data. You're going to want your 941 reports, and you're going to want the 1099 vendor payment summary. Okay. I'm trying to go quick here. I know this is a lot. All right, number 2, group health benefits. The employer portion of group health benefits are included in this calculation. So what do you need from your healthcare provider? You need invoices. The invoices show what you paid on behalf of your employees for their healthcare benefit. So reach out to your health plan sponsor, get that information, because the bigger this number is, the more money you're going to be entitled to, the more free money you're going to get. Okay, so one action step here, it might be broken down into 3 if you use different providers. Contact your health, dental, and vision insurance providers. All right. Okay, last but not least, number 3, retirement plan contributions. I know not a ton of small businesses have retirement plans that they offer to their employees, but if you do, if you're making contributions on behalf of your employees, that's going to range anywhere from 3 to 5% of their salary. Those contributions count as a part of this calculation. So what do you need to do? You need to obtain documentation from your plan sponsor showing that you contributed to their retirement fund. Okay, so with this, the action step is contact the retirement plan company, get documentation verifying how much you as the employer contributed to their retirement plan, because that too is considered compensation that you are providing the employee. All right, guys, as always, leave your questions down in the comments below. I've been talking to a lot of you today and trying to hash things out. So keep the questions coming, and you guys are going to be all set to go this Friday, April 3rd, when the applications start being accepted by your banks, okay? Most importantly, make sure you have a banking relationship. Make sure you know a commercial banker. Make sure you have all of this documentation ready to go. It's better to have a lot more documentation than not. The worst thing that you can do is show up to the bank, you don't have everything, and you have to run and scramble to find, some missing piece of documentation, and then you're in the back of the line, and you might not get this money. So make sure you have all your ducks in a row, get all this paperwork together, reach out if you have questions. All right, guys, best of luck. Enjoy your afternoon.